So I want to make a few announcements before we go to check our homework. So at the bottom of the screen here, you see we're starting chapter 9 next week. Can you believe it? Remember we said we only get 2 weeks for each chapter, so we're kind of moving quickly through these. So keep that in mind this week. I want you to start thinking about those final activities and assignments that you have to do. So in Blackboard, you will see there's a Go React assignment that I'm going to grade, and it's to practice using although and even though and because, either, neither, and kind of the things we're talking about this week in our lessons. So the Go React assignment, I would suggest that you do that Thursday after we record our video. So Thursday or Friday, I would go in there and do the Go React assignment, okay? It will be for a grade, and you're going to talk about family members, and you're going to use some of the words that we're studying in chapter 8, okay? My suggestion with that Go React assignment is that I want you to write down some sentences that you would like to say, because you need to make sure that you're using the words from our chapter that we're studying, okay? So you want to write down a couple of things that you want to say, and then as you're doing the video, I do not want you to have your paper and just read like this, and I think that, like, don't be like a robot, okay? But use your notes on your paper to kind of help you remember what to say, okay? So it's speaking practice, but we're focusing on our grammar that we're learning in these 2 weeks, okay? Any questions about the Go React?
No.
Okay, good. So that assignment is listed there in chapter 8 folder in Blackboard, okay? So you can read more about it. Also, you have your lab assignment that's due this Friday. So the Go React video and your lab assignment are both due by midnight on Friday. The lab assignment is done in the My English lab, okay? You need to pick 5 practice exercises to do. You get to choose which ones you want to do, as long as they're in chapter, okay? Does anybody need help with that, or do you know about?
Yes, I know. What are you talking about?
You know, okay. What about,
A
do you
little
know
bit.
your,
That the chapter 9 we finish on this Friday or next week.
we're finishing chapter 8 this week, and
This
we're starting chapter 9 next week,
okay.
okay? So in just a moment, I'll go ahead and share the video screen, or the My Writing Lab. I'll show you your lab assignment, just in case other people have questions. But lab assignment, Go React assignment, both due this Friday, as well as the discussion board. This is our practice for writing, and I want you to go in their discussion board, and you're going to write some sentences using although and even though, and it's comparing, I think it was comparing situations, and anyways, it'll give you the description there. So you're doing these things throughout this week, and then next Friday, September 11th, is when your chapter 8 test is due. So I'm just giving you a little bit of extra time for that, okay? We're finishing chapter 8 this week, but I'm giving you an extra week to get your test done, and that is also in My English lab, okay? And 3 have already done the chapter 8 test, which is crazy to me because we haven't even finished our chapter yet. So, but I learned my lesson. I'm not going to post the test until closer to the due date. So if you haven't done your chapter test, you need to do that by September 11th. And then check your introduction videos for comments today. I already posted comments on most of your videos in Go React where you introduced yourself to the class. I posted comments in there and I helped you correct your pronunciation and sentence structure. So go back in there. And then Walter, I'm going to work on yours today so you can check your video later tonight or tomorrow and see my comments. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, guys. Anybody have questions?
No.
Wait, I think we have, yeah, okay. So let me show you just really quickly. I want to make sure you know what we're doing. So this is in our lessons folder for chapter 8. This writing assignment is due on Friday. You guys are going to write some sentences to me. Send them. So what you do is you click on this right here. Click on the assignment. It tells you what to do and what to write about here. And when you're ready to write, I want you to click on Write Submission. Okay? Do not go down to the comments. So you're not writing in the comments. I want you to click on Write Submission, and then you can type in your sentences. And when you're done, you click Submit at the bottom.
Okay.
Okay? This assignment is not for a grade, but it is some extra writing practice for you guys to do. And so that's due on September 4th. And then the Go React assignment is due September 4th, okay? And then the discussion board is right here. I would also like you to have this finished by Friday. And then our test is in My English Lab, and that is due next Friday. Okay, so that's what we have coming up this. I know it's a lot, but you know, work on it little by little. And your lab assignment, if you guys remember, I said lab due Friday. Lab assignment just means you come here to My English Lab, you choose any of the chapter 8 sections that you would like to work. Okay, so maybe I want to work on the auxiliary verbs after but. Today we're going to talk about these. So if you want extra practice, you would click on this and you complete. Pick 5 of these from whatever you want to do, and we'll take the average of your grade in grade. If you decide to do more than 5, and let's say you want to do 10, then I'm going to be taking the average of those 10. All right, so whatever you do, I'm recording that as your lab grade at the end of this week. Okay? Is everybody good on that?
Yes. Okay, so let's go to our PowerPoint. If you have questions about any of this, of course, you guys can email me. Okay? Can you guys see my PowerPoint screen?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I cannot see my Blackboard Collaborate screen anymore. I can only see PowerPoint. So if you have questions or if something happens and you cannot see my screen, just raise your hand or turn on your audio and let me know. Okay, so let's get started. Check our homework first.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But.
Okay, I will read these to you if that's easier, and then ask questions. So let's start with exercise 2 on page 209. This is on the right side of your screen. I know it's kind of small, but that's how I could fit it. So let's go over exercise 2, page 209.
209. Exercise 2 here. Exercise 2. Okay.
Okay, so number 3.
Adjective. Adjective. Wide and deep.
Wait, what are you saying too?
Adjective,
Oh,
wide and deep.
adjective. Oh yeah,
Wide and deep.
adjective. Yes, wide
Adjective.
and deep. Wide and deep are
Adjective.
adjectives. Good. Number 4, we have wide, deep, dangerous. All
Yes.
3 are adjectives. Yes. And did you include the comma?
Two
Yes.
comma.
After wide, after deep.
Yes,
Yes.
good. We got to have 2 commas in there. Okay, why do we put comma in number 4, but we do not put it in number 3?
Because they have 2 more
Be-
adjectives.
yes.
Yeah, more than 2. Number has more than 2 in our list, a list of adjectives. That's correct. Okay, number 5, we underline the verbs played,
And
ate,
8.
told.
Yeah,
Played, ate, told.
comma. We have a comma between music and A.
Yes.
And
Comma
on
after. Okay, good job. And I'm just reading this out loud because some people might not be able to see it. Okay. So number 6, we have the verbs played and ate, and there's
Yes.
no comma.
Number 7.
Number 7, we have a list of nouns. We've mom, dad, sister,
That's
grandfather, son, daughter. Actually, we have 2 different lists. A list of 4 people, and then in the other part of the sentence, we have a list of 2, son and daughter.
So we have a 3 comma.
Right. So we need a comma after mom, comma after dad, comma after sister. That's correct. You guys are doing great with these.
That's so easy.
Okay,
wow.
good. Your writing assignment should be really easy then in Blackboard because it's to practice commas too. Okay, number 8, we have verbs mood, roared, barked.
And barked.
Okay, what does mood mean?
Look like là they make the noise. Look like là the cow.
Yeah,
You
it's the
make
sound that a cow
deep
makes.
sound.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And we need a comma after cow, comma after lion.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
good, good. Let's go to exercise 4. We need to have period after talked and then capital H and he.
Yes.
Okay, and Walter, why don't you tell us about number 4? What do you do? Anything?
Yes, I did it. I put a comma after grades
Okay,
because
good.
there I have to sentence 2 ideas.
Good. There's a comma after grades, and the reason is because you have 2 subject verb pairs.
Subject verbs.
So
Yes,
we have I talked and we have he listened.
he listened.
Yeah, good. Okay, 2, can you tell us about number 5? What did you do?
Yeah, yes. Number 5. I have a 1, 2, 3. 3 comma. Be after the end of and the end of and
Okay,
2.
good. So comma after the, comma after and
After
af-
of.
after of, and after to. That's good.
Yes.
All right. And number 6, we need a period after
You
question.
read a question.
And then capital T
T.
for the woman. Yes, make sure you capitalize that next letter. And then number 7, we have a connector, so we can just use the comma after question.
Yes.
And number 8, period after city,
Period.
capital I.
and
Good.
comma.
Number 9, period after Rome, capital I, and it's. And then we also need a comma after mild. Did you guys
Yes.
get that one?
Yes. Up after
Mild.
climber, my
Yes,
I just
after mild.
after mouth, my. Oh, I
Comma
put
after mild because we have verb pairs on both sides.
but that's the mouth climate mà. Mouth climate that là the one frame.
It's one what?
I just thought I has a mouth climate, comma, and many interesting suggestions.
Oh, you moved the word climate. You moved.
Yeah, no,
Oh, you're doing
the
extra.
comma behind that is
Let's see.
because it
Well,
has mouth climber, so I put the comma and many interesting expressions.
I would have to see exactly how you wrote it too, because I'm not sure if what you're saying is going to be correct. First of
Okay.
all, we're not really supposed to move any words, but if you want, you can email me your sentence and I'll tell you if it's correct, because it looks like you changed some things.
Yeah, I don't move anything. I just put the extra the comma after the climate.
Oh, it's climate, comma, is my, comma?
Yeah,
No, we can't do that.
because that only two.
Because when you have it's climate, okay,
Yeah,
that's not a subject and verb.
it has.
Well, then you'd have to change it's to it.
Sentence.
And then if you put a comma after climate, then you have to have another subject. It is mild.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
And
And then-
so it is, I mean, it gets really confusing. I would, like, you would have to say it has a climate, comma, and it is mild, comma, and there are many interesting attractions. So I think it's better leave it like it is, just add
Okay,
one comma after mild. Okay?
yes.
Okay, but it's good. I'm glad you were trying to change some things because there's always more than one way to say or write something. So it is good to kind of see what else we could do with this. Let's look at exercise 6 next. We've got number 4, comma, but.
Yes.
Number 5, but. No commas. Number 6, comma, and. Number 7, and. Number 8, comma, but. Number 9, or. Number 10, comma, or. This is exercise 6. Do any of you have questions on these?
Number 4, we have a comma and but, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Any
what
other
about number
questions?
7?
Oh, Amani, you're here.
Yes, I'm
I didn't.
here.
I can't see my Blackboard screen. You said
Oh,
number 7 is just and. There's no
and
comma. Okay. Any questions about this one, class?
Number 5, only but don't have a comma.
Yes.
Why?
Why? Can anybody?
Yes,
Yeah.
why?
Favorite question. Why? Can anybody say why number
yes,
5 does not need a comma? Go ahead, Walter.
because it doesn't have another subject.
That's right.
Right.
On the right side. Because there's no subject on the right of the first sentence. So I was, that's subject verb. And then we have the word didn't, but there's not a
Oh,
I. There's not a
yes,
I
yes.
before didn't.
Because I made the mistake. I was hungry and but I didn't. So that's why I wonder. Sorry.
Yeah, I was hungry, comma, but eat on the plane.
Yes, because I write that down in my notebook like with the I, no, so that's
Oh, you put the I in there. Okay.
so. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, good, guys. Let's go to exercise 7. Number 1, we need to have a period after devices and then capitalize the C. Oh, wait, they already did that one for you. Okay. Number, we need a comma after,
Absences.
Devices.
yeah, after devices. Good. Number 3, period after landings and then capital T in they.
Yes.
Number 4, comma after laptops, comma after players, comma after readers. And then number 5, comma after systems. Okay, any questions here? Just let me know. Okay, moving on. Go to the left side of your screen, exercise 9, page 212. You have the answers. Number 3 is so. Number 4,
Yes,
but.
but.
Number 5, but. Number
But.
6, so.
So.
Number 7, so. Number
So.
8, but.
But.
Number 9, but. Number
But.
10, so.
So.
Good. Good. Okay, I'm
Okay,
done.
no questions? Then we can go to exercise 10.
Already.
So, yeah, number 1 on 10, we need to put period after food, capital W for when,
Yes.
and then we need to add some commas. Comma
Yes.
after grasshoppers, after beetles, after spiders. And then number 2, period after baby, capital A. Number 3, period after open, capital T on they, period after breathe, capital I and if, and a comma after drown. Whoa, if you got number 3 right, I'll be so happy. That one's hard. Did anybody get all of these correct? 2 and 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Super proud of you guys. You must have a really good grammar teacher. That's the only explanation for that.
You have a lot of time.
Okay. All right. Are we ready to start our lesson? Anybody still have questions about homework?
Nope.
Okay, everybody good. Amani over there?
Yes, I'm good.
All right. Well, let's get started. We're at chapter 8, sections 8.4 and 8.5. Now, some of this stuff is really tricky, and it in order for some of this grammar to really get into your speaking language, it's going to take a lot of listening. You're going to have to listen and then try to mimic or repeat what other people say, because a lot of what we talk about today is going to be in spoken English. Okay, I'll talk to you about that in a little bit. Okay, so you can go ahead and turn off your microphones. And I just want to ask, we'll start with you, Amani, since you just joined us. Amani, you can keep your microphone on, and I want you to tell me in your own words, what are auxiliary verbs? What does that mean, auxiliary verbs, Amani? I can't hear you, Amani. Is your microphone on or off?
Oh, it's on now.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
You using what?
What are auxiliary verbs?
um, auxiliary verb are. You want me to give you the definition or the examples of?
Both. Tell
of
me whatever you know about them.
Let me give you the example of auxiliary verbs. Are, is, have. Um,
That's good. So you're using the be verb. Are, is, and then you used have. Have can be an auxiliary verb. That's good.
yeah,
So do, yep, do and does. Okay. Now, what about a definition? Do you have a easy definition for us?
I think it's the verb. Uh, Auxiliary verb are the verb that help you to connect. Not really.
We're talking about connectors, right? So you're thinking of connecting. They are actually auxiliary verbs are connected to a main verb. So
Oh yeah.
maybe that's what you're thinking. Yeah, auxiliary verbs are like they're paired up with a main verb. So let me give you my definition for them. They are also called helping verbs. Okay, they are verbs that assist or help the main verb. So my definition is this: an auxiliary verb is the first part of a multiple word verb conjugation. Okay, so for example, if I have the verb have been, like if I say I have been to New York before, have is the auxiliary verb. Been is the main verb. Okay? If I have an example of didn't go, didn't is the auxiliary verb, go is the main verb. So the auxiliary comes first. It's the first part of the verb. Okay?
Okay.
All right, good. But what if I have a sentence that just says, they are at home? They are at home. Does that have an auxiliary?
Yes.
What's the auxiliary?
Are.
Ah,
At,
Oh.
ah,
are. It's they are at home.
ah.
They are at
Are is
home.
auxiliary verb.
Is there an
Let me check.
auxiliary verb?
To be. Ah,
Yes.
You say yes. Actually, there's no auxiliary verb in that sentence because are is the
No main
main
verb.
verb. Yeah, are is the main verb. They are at home. Are is the main verb. So there is no auxiliary. But if I say they are working, then I have a two-word verb, are and working. I've got two words, right? So the first one is the auxiliary,
Right.
are. Okay, is everybody with me or do you still have questions?
yes.
We are with you.
Okay, good. We also use auxiliaries in questions like, do you enjoy? Do is the auxiliary, okay? The main verb would be enjoy. So auxiliaries are the verbs that become the first part of a multiple word verb, okay? The first part of two or more words in the verb. They almost always appear a main verb. So they're usually with the main verb, but there are some cases where they will stand alone, and I'll show you that in just a moment, okay? So the main verb is the last part of the verb.
The auxiliary verb is the first part of the verb. Okay, so remember that, because this practice today is going to test your knowledge of auxiliaries. Okay, so here's today's lesson. We're on page 214 in your book, and we're looking at using auxiliary verbs after but. Because remember, but is our connector word, and so we're kind of practicing different ways to use these connectors. So here's the point. We can use auxiliary verbs to shorten the second part of a sentence that contains the same tense and verb, but a different subject and negation. When I say negation, I'm talking about affirmative and negative. Affirmative means the verb is its regular verb. Like, I work at TCC. I live in Fort Worth. Those are affirmative sentences. If I change the negation and I make it negative, it would be, I don't work at TCC. I don't live in Fort Worth. Okay? So here are some examples of this structure that we can use. Now notice that I'm putting but in the middle of that sentence, right? I got subjects and verbs on both sides. I have a comma, right? The comma and the connector. But what I'm doing with the second side of the sentence is I'm making it short. Okay? You see that? But I don't. It's really short. So the sentence says, my friends like to go camping, but I don't. So why are we just using an auxiliary? The auxiliary is don't. Why are we just using only the auxiliary and we don't have the main verb after don't? Does anybody know why?
Because we see that the tense that present, simple present. So we have only two options: do's or the.
Okay, but the verb like is also simple present. So why can't I say, but I don't like?
So I don't like, because with the like you cannot put along. You have the object behind us. I remember the work they have a two
Yeah,
work.
that's true.
Yeah.
That is true. We cannot end a sentence with like. We have to have object with it. Okay, so can I just say my friends like to go camping, but I don't like it?
Yeah, you can don't like it. It's okay because it
Yeah,
has.
we could do that, but I don't like it. But it's kind of repetitive, which means we're just saying it so many times. Okay? So what we do is we have the option of shortening it, making it a shorter clause here, because we have the same verb like on both sides, right? My friends like, but I don't like. So it's the verb. It's the same tense. It's simple present tense. Okay, I didn't change the tense. The only thing I'm changing from the first side to the second side is I'm changing the subject, right? My friends is on the left and I is on the right. So I've changed the subject and I also changed the negation. The left side is affirmative, right side is negative. Does everybody see that?
Yes.
Does everybody see what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Okay, good. What about Amani and Walter? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay. Amani, you got it? Okay. I know it's kind of confusing because there's a lot of things to look at, but I'm trying to show you in what situations we can do this. Okay. You have a question, Amani?
So, all right. My question was that part. I was doing the, no, it's not the homework, it's the
Yeah.
lab assignment yesterday,
Okay.
and I got the
Mhm.
same question. I mean, I got the same sentence,
Right.
but it was on either and neither.
Yes, either or neither. Those are my friends too. We're doing that one next after
Oh
we
yeah,
do.
let me just wait so I can ask my
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, wait, and then That would be a good question to ask when we get over there, okay?
Right.
Okay, so here's the challenge. The challenge is to be able to do this quickly, okay? This takes lots of speaking practice, okay? If you notice, this sentence is normally a sentence that we would say when we're speaking, okay? It's kind of like a typical way of talking. So what I want us to do next is try to do the second one, and you guys are going to try to tell me what is going to go in the blanks, okay? So remember, on the right side, we have a different subject, and we also have a different negation, okay? But it's going to be the same tense and the same verb. So who wants to try the second one?
Me.
Me.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, two, you can go ahead. If you get it wrong, we'll ask Walter, okay?
Okay. They are going. They are going next weekend. But I won't. I will not.
Wait, you gave me two answers. That's cheating.
Yeah, but no, because they will not, and when wrong, that's the same.
Oh, I thought you said do not or don't. Okay, so they are going next weekend, but I
Will not,
won't.
wrong, and will not. Yeah.
Or but I will not. Okay. Um, that that's a pretty good answer. You could actually use that one. But there's another one we can also use here. Walter, do you have another idea?
yes, they are going next weekend, but I'm not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because even though we are talking about the future, right? That's why you said will not, okay? But
But
and that's okay. You can use will not because they're both the same basic future, right? But I chose to use am not because I'm taking the auxiliary verb, the be verb. Okay, so they are, but I goes with am. So I'm going to put the am, and then I have to make it negative because on the left side it's affirmative. So the right side it needs to be negative.
Because I just
Okay?
thinking that future.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and here's another example. This time I put the negative on the left side. I don't like nature, but my friend Jack does.
does.
Yeah. Does everybody see why we're picking does?
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Okay.
singular, third person.
It's a lot of things to think about. We've got Jack as a subject, and it's simple present tense, but we're also using the affirmative form. So all of that together equals does. We got to pick does. Now, do you think you can do this? Do you think you can do this like as a practice? Like if I say one side of the sentence, can you do the second side, the second part? You guys want to practice?
In January,
Okay.
my birthday.
Yeah, what we're going to do is practice, okay? So first we need to get some information from our class. So we've got, so far, do we have Amani, Walter, and two? It's only you three in the video lesson, right?
Phi Young
Right.
coming.
No, there's another one.
Oh, Fei Young is here?
Hello everyone.
Phi Young.
Hello.
Okay, welcome. Like I said, I can't see who's in the class.
No problem.
So
Yeah.
Fei Young, welcome.
Thank you. I just joined. Maybe.
Okay, good. Well, we're just starting to practice. So we can do this together. We've got 4 students, and what we need to do is ask each other these questions, and then we're going to make sentences about it. So, for example, if I ask a question, are you hungry? Well, John says yes, and Kara says no. So I can make a sentence. John is hungry, but Kara isn't. Okay? So we need one side affirmative, one side negative. Okay, so does anybody have a birthday in January?
No.
No.
I just took a guess and I wrote this question. Does anybody have a birthday in January? Nobody?
No,
Nobody.
just another month.
Oh, okay, that's why we needed a bigger class. I'm sure there's somebody that's not here in our video that has a birthday. Okay, what about February?
No.
Okay, well, my birthday is in February, so we will use me. So how can we make a sentence about my birthday in February?
It's your birthday in February.
Yeah. So let's
Okay.
complete the sentence. The teacher's birthday is in February, but
But
But I'm not.
I'm not.
Mine
no,
is not.
we cannot say I am not. Nope. Try again.
Mine is not.
Oh, good. Use mine. Yeah, that's good. So the teacher's birthday is in February, but my birthday is not. So my birthday would be the subject. And Amani, you said I am not, but birthday is the subject. So we have to use like my birthday, your birthday. Okay. So
Okay.
the teacher's birthday is in February, but Walter's birthday is not. Or you can say Walter's birthday isn't. Okay. All right. Let's do the next one. We're going to have, let's see, Amani, I want you to do this sentence for us, okay? First, let's find out, did anybody eat rice last night?
No.
No.
Okay, yes, I did it.
Yay! Somebody. It's a pretty typical food, so I picked rice. Okay, so Amani, you're going to say the sentence, okay? We've got
Okay.
Walter ate the rice, but nobody else did. So can you make a sentence with it?
All right. Walter ate rice last night,
Uh-huh.
but Fei Yang didn't.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly right. Walter ate rice last night, but Fei Young didn't. That's good. Okay. And let's do the next one. This time, let's have two. Two. Can you make a sentence? Who can ride a horse? We need yes.
I can ride a horse, but
Okay.
my teacher couldn't.
Uh-oh. You use couldn't. Couldn't, it would be the past. But
My
can.
not can.
Can't.
Okay, that would be correct, except I can ride a horse. So mine is affirmative answer. Who cannot ride a horse? Anybody?
I can't.
Okay, good. So there you go too. Amani is going to be your subject. So go ahead again.
I can ride a horse, but Amani cannot.
Good. Amani cannot, or Amani can't. Okay. Excellent. Now, let's think of something else. Can anybody make a sentence about anything? You can use our class, or you can use, some other subject. Anybody want to make a sentence?
Okay,
Okay, go ahead.
okay. Have you watched the movie?
Have you watched like
The I don't know. Have you ever watched an action movie?
okay. Have you ever watched an action movie? Yes, I have. What about you guys? Amani, Fei Young too? Have you watched
Yes.
an action movie?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes, I have.
I didn't.
To watch.
Okay, so Amani has not and Fei Young has.
Fayon have watched a movie, and Amani hasn't.
Well, it's opposite actually.
Oh
Fei
yeah.
Young has not
watch
No,
a movie.
no problem.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
You have to get it right, Walter.
I
Let's
Well,
try
I
it
have a
again.
question. I have a question. Like, do you have a driver's license?
Okay, that's a good one. But Fei Young,
Can
hold
you
on.
repeat? You need
Let me
here.
make sure Walter can get it correct. Okay,
Okay.
and then we'll come back to you, Fei Young. Walter, go ahead. Try it
Again?
again.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember their names.
Fei Young
Feyon,
Yes.
has not watched a movie.
Feyon not, and Amani yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
question was, have you ever watched
watch action movie.
an action movie?
Right.
Feyon has watched,
No, no,
or
no.
oh no,
Yes,
Amani has watched
Harmony
an
has
action movie, and Feyon hasn't.
watching,
That's right.
but
You guys have. Okay. Yeah. Amani has watched an action movie, but don't forget to
Oh,
use the but.
yes.
But Fei Young
have not
hasn't. Hasn't.
hasn't.
Ooh, that one was tough because he used present perfect. So Amani has watched an action movie, but Fei Young hasn't.
Hasn't.
Okay.
Okay, you got it?
Okay. Yes, I got it.
Yes.
Okay, good. And Fei Young, you had a question. Who has a driver's license?
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you have the driver's license in the States?
yes, I have.
Yes, I do.
Do you? Oh, yes, I do. Do you
So
have
yes,
it?
I do for sure. Amani,
No, I
what about you?
don't.
I don't.
Amani, you don't?
No, I'm not. I don't have it.
Okay, so
Oh,
Walter doesn't
okay.
have the driver's license. And two, do you
Yes,
have
I
one?
do. Yes, I
Yes, I
do.
do. Okay. And Amani, what about you?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, good. So Fei Young, go ahead, make a sentence.
Yes. Uh, do you have a driver's license? Um, the answer is two has a driver's license, but Walter doesn't.
Yes,
Perfect. Yes.
but
Two
Thank you.
has a driver's license, but Walter doesn't.
yes,
Okay, good job, guys. I know this is hard because we can't see each other. This is just, but you guys are doing good. All right, so let's remember what we talked about with auxiliaries because we're still going to use them for this next structure. For this one, we're going to add two affirmative sides of a sentence. Okay? Now remember, we just practiced having one side affirmative and one side negative, right? Now we're moving to both sides affirmative. So in this case, we're not going to use but. Okay, we're not using but. We're going to use so and to. There's two options. So I'm just going to read these sentences to you, and then we'll talk about what they mean and the structure for these. So the first one says, I used Blackboard last semester, and so did Amani. And on the right side, I used Blackboard last semester, and Amani did too. Okay, so what's the difference?
the the location. So and to in the end of the sentence.
Yeah, good. Okay, so is not at the end of a sentence, but to is at the end. Okay, do you notice any other differences?
Different people.
Okay, good. So on the left side, we have I,
On the right side, we have a different subject, Amani. Okay, so we've got different subjects. Is it the same tense? Are we still talking about past on both sides?
And
Yes, both of them are past. Used and did, both in the past. So it's the same tense. We're talking about the same verb, but it's a different subject. Okay, and so we're adding, these are both affirmatives. There's no negatives here. It's both affirmative sides. Another difference between the two sides, do you notice the position of Amani and did? On the left one, we put did before Amani. On the right side, we put did after Amani. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, let's start with the so, and then we'll go to the to one. So the meaning for both of these sentences is that both people used Blackboard. I used Blackboard, Amani used Blackboard. But this is just a shorter way of saying it. We just shorten it and we say, and so did Amani. So for the structure on the second side of the sentence, we want to use the comma with and then because and connects like things or things that are similar. So we're connecting affirmatives. So we use comma and then we put so auxiliary subject. So did Amani. So can I. So does to. We can change the auxiliary, we can change the subject, but it's going to stay in the same order. Okay? All right. So let's see. Yes,
can,
question?
all right, okay. So it's
Go ahead.
so plus auxiliary verb. That means you can use like is or are and stuff.
Yeah, any auxiliary. It just depends on what's on the left side of the sentence.
Oh, okay.
Because my sentence, I used past tense. It's in past tense. So I'm going to use the auxiliary did.
Okay.
Let's look at this sentence. To is learning English. In this sentence, the auxiliary is that be verb, the be verb, right?
and so
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so Amani, do you want to try this one? Can you finish the sentence?
Two is learning English, and
so
I,
so
and so do I.
am
Okay, close. You're using do, which is simple present, but
Oh,
we have,
so am I.
and so
wait, hold on, to give him a second.
am I.
Good. Right, Amani, because we want to use the be verb as the auxiliary, right?
All right.
Be verb is the most irregular verb in English. So we do not use it with do, does, did. It has its own rules. So here's the sentence. To is learning English and so am I. Okay, let's change the subject on the second side, on the right side. Let's change the subject to Walter. Okay, so Fei Young, can you make a sentence, but we're changing the subject to Walter on the right side?
Walter is learning English, and so am I.
Yeah, okay, you change to. I want to keep to. To is learning English and then I want to use Walter on the second part.
learning
Two is learning English, and
I'm
so is Walter.
I
Yes, very good. To is learning English and so is Walter. Okay? So I'm using is as my be verb, my auxiliary verb. Okay? Any questions on that? Anybody still have a question?
no.
Okay, so this next one for the practice, Walter, is going to be your turn to practice the next
Okay.
one, okay? So here's our next one. We want to practice with two. So I used Blackboard last semester and Amani did too. So we've got two people who did the same action. So we can use this short version of using and with two. So the structure is to use comma with and then the subject, auxiliary, and to. Subject, like Amani, auxiliary did, and then we have to. That's for past tense. Okay, so Walter, it's your turn. Can you finish this sentence?
Yes. Two is learning English, and am I too? I am too.
Okay, the second one is good.
Yes,
I
the first
am.
one.
That's correct. And I am too. I am too. Subject is I, am is the auxiliary, and then we put to. So we have a choice. We can say, and so am I, or, and I am too. Okay? And so is Walter, and Walter is too. So it's the same meaning, it's just a different way to say it. Okay? Does anybody else want to try this one? Two, do you want to try? Make a sentence here.
Um, I am, no, who is learning English, and Amani is too.
Good. Just don't forget when you're saying your is to pronounce the S.
Is too.
Amani is too. Good.
Amani
Good job.
is too.
Yes. Perfect. Okay, good job, guys. Now I know we went through this kind of quickly, but we'll do some practice towards the end, okay? And you guys are going to practice this as well in your Go React video. For your Go React video this week, you can talk about your family members. You can say, my sister lives in Arlington and I do too, right? Or you can say, my sister lives in Argentina, but I don't. You see? So you can
Wait,
practice using these in your Go React speech. This is one of the objectives of the lesson. Okay. Does anybody have a question
oh yeah,
before we?
I was trying to ask about the meaning of two. The meaning.
Hey, that's a good question. Two, THU. You're like, wait, this is a new word. This
No,
is actually
I mean two like T O
oh
O.
TOO. I thought you said THU.
No, but I think sometimes I
Yeah.
think the meaning is also right. It's not.
Yes, it is.
So why here when you use two, that means you agree with something. I mean you agree. I mean you agree the first sentence, but here
Right.
where's your sentence? You remove it.
Which sentence?
The one you put right now. Oh, this one. This one, the
Oh,
first one.
That's wrong, ma.
okay. So you're trying to talk about this one right here.
Why is it
This
That's
negative?
wrong.
That's
okay.
why is
Because that's wrong.
Why is it wrong?
Because
Okay,
wrong
let
side.
me.
oh all right, okay, I'm confused.
Yeah, you don't carefully.
Sorry. Hey. All right.
Okay. Well, why don't I just go over this and then we can, if you still have a question, you can ask more.
Oh,
But basically, Amani, the word TOO, yes, it has one of the meanings is also, okay? And we'll put it at the end of a clause or sentence.
oh,
So
yeah.
my examples here, two is learning English and Fei Young is two. Okay, that two means also, right? Two
Right.
is learning English. Fei Young is learning English also. So this TOO, yes, it means also, okay?
Okay.
But in these sentences here, these are wrong on this screen, okay?
Okay.
Because what we have is we have negatives. We've
Mm-hmm.
got the isn't or doesn't, and we cannot use these and so and to if we have negatives.
Right.
Okay, so this is a very common mistake that English language learners do when they're speaking. Like, for example, a student might say, I don't have my book and I don't have a pencil too. I don't have my book and I don't have a pencil too. Is that correct?
No.
That's not correct.
Right, that's not correct because they're talking about things that they do not have. This is a negative, this is negated sentence, and we cannot use to talk about two things that are negative or even one thing that's a negative. So these sentences are wrong. If I say Walter's from Argentina and Fei Young isn't too, no, we can't do that because we have one side affirmative, one side negative. Okay, so let's together, class, let's correct the first sentence. Let's use the but. Let's use the but that we practiced at the beginning of this lesson. Walter is from Argentina, but what can we say?
But Fei Young isn't.
That's correct. But Young isn't. Okay, everybody got that?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and the second one is also wrong. And Walter isn't from China, and Amani isn't too. Even though we're talking about two things,
But they are
they're
negative.
both negative, and so we cannot use the two. In a few minutes, we'll talk about how we can use two negatives, like what form we need to use. Okay.
With either.
The last one, two doesn't speak Spanish, and so doesn't Maha. Maha is another student in our class, but I don't think she's in this video. But we cannot use so because we have two negative verbs. So basically, no negatives allowed with to and so. Okay. Any questions?
No.
All right. Let's do the either, neither, and then we'll practice, and then we'll be done for today. Okay. So either and neither. This is the one where we have two things that are negative. Two sides of the sentence are both negative, negated verbs. So I can't speak Korean, and Joseph can't either. So we're not using but, we're not using so, we're not using to. All right, because we have two negative verbs. Okay, go ahead and mute your microphone unless you want to ask a question, okay? I don't know if it's raining or what, but I hear some, it sounds like rain. Okay, so we've got two negative verbs, all right? We're going to join them with the either, the and a either. Okay, we both cannot speak Korean. That's what it means. So the structure is comma with and then we have subject auxiliary either. Subject auxiliary
Hannah,
either. Yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry if I interrupted you, but we lost
No, go
the
ahead.
connection, and we're here just you and me, you and I.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Let me, oh my goodness.
I'm
Is
here.
that what happened when I said everybody mute your microphone?
Yes.
I'm still here.
Oh, you're still
Okay.
here too. What happened to Amani and Fei Young?
here.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, they're here. They
Yeah.
just turned their videos off. Did you guys lose connection or no?
No.
No,
Nope.
Oh,
I don't.
Okay,
it
that
was
was
just me.
I don't know. Yeah,
Sorry, guys.
I moved from the kitchen to my bedroom.
okay. Well, you better tell Walter or he's going to make an announcement.
Sorry.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. No, he's taking care of us. He's trying to make sure everybody's here. Okay, so
That's good.
can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about adding two negatives together. So for this one, let's remember that we need to have the auxiliary verb be a negative verb. So for example, if I say, and two can't either, or and I won't either, or and my family doesn't either. So the auxiliary on this side is going to be a negative auxiliary. Okay, so we're going to practice this. I want you to combine these two sentences into one sentence using the subject, auxiliary, and either. Okay, does someone have a question or do you want to answer this one? I heard a little ding sound.
I want to answer it.
Okay, go ahead, Walter.
I don't work out a lot, and my family doesn't either.
Good. Yep, that's it. My family doesn't either. So we're using the auxiliary. It's the same tense. They're both negative on both sides. Okay. I don't work out a lot, and my family doesn't either. Okay, and I will tell you guys there's other ways to use either and neither. This is not the only way that we can use them, but this is just one way that we're showing you here. Okay, let's go to the right side. I can't speak Korean, and neither can Joseph. So this is two people that cannot speak Korean. And what we're doing is we're using comma with and then we put neither, and then the auxiliary and the subject. The auxiliary verb is going to be affirmative. So on the left side of our screen, when we're using either, we're using a negative auxiliary, like doesn't either, can't either. On the right side of your screen, when we're using neither, we need to use an affirmative auxiliary, like neither does, neither can. Okay? The reason is students get confused about this. Like, what's the difference between either and neither? That's a very popular question. I want you to look at the letter N. The letter N, neither has an N. So that means auxiliary does not need an N to make it negative. Either does not have an N. So the auxiliary needs to have an N. Okay, that's the easy way to remember it. Just put one N. The N is representing not or negative. Okay, so let's do this one. I need a different person to volunteer to do this second practice here.
Me.
Okay, two, go ahead.
I didn't have a vacation this summer, and neither Julia did.
Oh, so close. Look at the structure. We need neither and then the auxiliary.
Neither did Junior.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
I didn't have a vacation this summer, and neither did Julia.
Right. Good. I didn't take a vacation this summer, and neither did Julia. Neither did Julia. That's correct.
Yes.
All right. Okay, guys. We're doing good so far. Okay, is anybody confused about this one? Okay, are you ready to practice with me? Yeah, we got a few minutes left. I want to do this. This is in your book. It's actually your homework, but I want to do a little bit in our video to kind of get you started with it. Okay. So we're going to look at the picture, and this is speaking practice. You don't really need to write anything. Let's just practice speaking with this, okay? So we're looking at the picture, and I think Amani will start with you. You can do letter B, and then Taeyong, you're going to do number 2A, okay?
Okay.
So Amani, can you do number 1B? We're looking at Marco. And remember, when we're using so and to, it's because two people or two things have the same thing. So this is affirmative. Amani, whenever you're ready.
Oh, I'm doing number 1.
Yeah, you're doing number 1, letter B.
Okay. Marco has
Mustache.
the mustache and what's this?
Kind of tricky.
And so does Ivan.
That's pretty good, except Ivan doesn't have one.
Oh,
What about James? You got the grammar
yeah.
structure
All
correct.
right. And that's James.
Good job. Marco has a mustache, and so does James. So does James. Okay, very good. Was that difficult to do?
Yeah, this is
It's
my
hard, right?
difficult part.
Yeah, it's very hard to transfer this into your natural language use. We're so used to talking about things in different ways, and then when we try to change it or add something new, it's really hard. But you did good on that one. Let's go to number 2A. Say Young, you have the answer.
Yes, ma'am. Number
Okay.
2, Oma doesn't have mustache, and Ivan doesn't either.
Oh, and Ivan, or I would say Ivan.
Ivan.
And Ivan doesn't either. Very good. Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Ivan doesn't either. Okay. We have time for one more. So either Walter or two. Can you do
Okay.
letter B? Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Omar doesn't have a mustache, and either does Ivan.
That's good, but did you say neither or either?
Neither.
Okay,
And
yes.
neither does Ivan.
Yes.
Neither does Ivan. That's correct for 2B. Okay, you guys are going to finish this. It's page 217. So you will do that in your books. We are actually done for today. We're out of time. You guys did great today. Here's your homework. We will check these answers on Thursday. So I want you to exercises 13, 14, 15, and 17, 18. Pages 214 to 218. Use your audio. One of these exercises is a listening practice. I want you to use the audio in My English Lab. If you look on the left side of your screen, this is a screenshot from My English Lab. To do the exercise, you need to go down to the bottom of My English Lab where it says Student Book Audio.
If you click on that, then you go to chapter 8. You will find the audio that you need in order to complete the exercise. Okay, so that's your book homework due on Thursday. And then your lab assignment, remember I told you at the beginning of the course, I want you to do at least 5 exercises in chapter 8 by Friday night. So you got a couple of days for that. The writing assignment is also due Friday night. You submit that in Blackboard. It's not for a grade. And your Go React video that you're going to make this week, that is due Friday night. And then your introduction to yourself video that you already did, okay, you guys did a great job on to help you with pronunciation and sentence structure. So if you want to go back and look at that video assignment, and you can check all the comments that I put there. All right, so we are finishing chapter 8 on Thursday. So I hope you're ready for your test by Thursday. If you have questions and you want to ask during the video chat, you can do that. Just write your questions down and we can go over those in our next video chat, okay?
Okay.
Good job today, class.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All of these assignments, by the way. So
Okay.
thank you, guys.
Thank you. May I have a question?
Yes, go ahead. Questions are good.
So the book, and you like they will give me a e-text. Is that correct? Because my yeah yeah.
The e-text is something you have to buy separately if you want to.
I bought a book